my name is Miss Gabby. Welcome to the first week of our 2021 summer reading program, Reading Colors Your World. This week, our story time is Rainbow Weaver by Linda Elovitz Marshall and Elisa Chavarri. Wow, how pretty! Let's get started. High in the mountains above Lake Atitlan, Ixchel watched her mother weave thread into fabric as beautiful as a rainbow. The fabric had blues as clear as the sky, reds as bright as the flowers, and yellow as golden as the corn. Mama, Ixchel asked, may I weave too? Her mother shook her head. Not now, Ixchel, she answered. This cloth is for the market. If it brings a good price, it will help pay for your school and books. Oh, that's too bad that she can't weave. But look, wow, what a beautiful dress. Can you believe that they do all of that by hand on the loom? That's so impressive. What beautiful colors. In and out, Ixchel's mother and neighbors wove on backstrap looms. They wove as their mothers, grandmothers, and great-grandmothers had done before them, as Mayan women had done for more than 2,000 years. Wow, that's a long time. After a while, Ixchel asked, Mama, may I weave now? Again, her mother shook her head. Count threads with me, my love. I'll show you how we make designs. Ixchel and her mother counted together. Hun, Kai, Oxi, Kaji. With each additional color, the cloth grew longer and the design prettier. Ixchel reached for some thread. Please, she asked. No, my love, answered her mother. You are still too young and there is no extra thread. Aww. Ixchel crossed her arms and studied the hard-packed dirt of the yard. I want to weave. I want to help pay for my books and school too, she thought. But she didn't say anything. Instead, she walked towards the milpa, the field where the villagers planted corn, beans, and squash. Plastic bags littered the path. Day after day, more bags were tossed from windows of passing vehicles or discarded by people returning from the market. No one could use all the bags, and there was nowhere to put them. Oh, wow, that is a lot of bags, and they're all in the way of the path along the milpa. Oh, how messy. Pushing the bags aside, Ixchel gathered branches and sticks. Some of the sticks were long and some were short. She carried the sticks and branches home, then tied them together. What are you doing? A neighbor asked. Making a loom, Ixchel answered. Her mother smiled. But Ixchel, she said, we don't have any extra thread. I know, Mama, she answered. I won't take any. What is she doing? What is she using to thread? Ixchel tied one end of her loom to a tree. Then she gathered tall blades of pajon grass. Wow, she's threading grass. Sitting on the ground, Ixchel joined the blades of grass together by knotting the end of one blade to the end of another until she made a long chain. Then she pushed the batten over and under, back and forth, turning the blades of grass into fabric. When the fabric was finished, it was too small to be a doormat or even a placemat. It was too scratchy to wear as a bracelet. Worst of all, it was dull, greenish white. The fabric was far too small, far too scratchy, and far too dull for anyone to buy. Ixchel knew it would never sell. Aww, yeah, it's not very, it's kind of scratchy and it's not a very nice color. That's too bad. Disappointed, Ixchel took another walk, climbing the path villagers took to bring sheep up the mountain. She saw a clump of black wool hanging from a branch. Ixchel tucked the wool in her belt. She noticed more clumps of black and white wool dotting the grasses, sticks, and plants. Ixchel gathered this wool and tucked it under her belt too. What do you think she's going to use the wool for? At home, Ixchel turned and twisted the wool, spinning it into a long, thick strand of yarn. Then over and under, back and forth, she pushed the batten and wove the yarn into fabric. Ixchel looked at what she had woven. The fabric was thick and heavy. The colors were boring. Tiny pieces of grass and dirt were stuck in the fabric. The weaving was far too thick, far too boring, and far too dirty for anyone to buy. Oh, that's too bad. It's so small and it's kind of dirty and thick. Oh. Tears rolled down Ixchel's cheeks. There's no way my weaving will sell in the market, she thought. No way I can help. Wiping her tears, Ixchel headed towards the milpa again. Along the way, she kicked aside a plastic bag. Red, purple, orange, green, yellow, and blue bags were everywhere. They were in the fields, drooping from the branches and clogging roads and ditches. There were so many bags it was hard for her to walk. Angry, Ixchel picked up a bag. She ripped it to shreds. Suddenly, she had an idea. What do you think Ixchel's idea is? What do you think she'll do with the bags? Ixchel gathered bag after colorful bag. She took the bags home and washed them and hung them to dry. Now what are you doing? Another neighbor asked. Ixchel smiled. You'll see, she answered. By the next day, the bags were dry. Ixchel cut each bag into long, thin strips. She tied the strips together. Sitting at her loom, Ixchel pushed the batten over and under, back and forth, weaving until she had used all of the strips. Wow, how clever! The fabric was short, but it was clean and colorful. It had blues as clear as the sky, reds as bright as the flowers, and yellows as golden as the corn. The fabric looked like a beautiful rainbow, almost as pretty as the weavings of her mother, grandmothers, and great-grandmothers before her. Wow, how lovely! What a great job she did! Wondering what else she could make with plastic bags, Ixchel headed back to the milpa. As she gathered more bags, the path looked cleaner and the countryside prettier. Wow, so they're going to clean up, or she's using all of the bags on the floor for her creation. And that'll clean up the road. How wonderful! When Ixchel returned home, her mother and neighbors were waiting with colorful plastic bags. We saw what you were doing, said a neighbor. We wanted to help. And without the bags everywhere, our village looks pretty again, said another neighbor. Wow, so not only are the bags useful by cleaning them up, the village will look much cleaner and nicer. How great! Ixchel thanked them. Then she handed the weaving to her mother and said, My first rainbow! Her mother hugged her close. It's beautiful, my love, she said. Thank you, Mama, Ixchel said. But do you think it will sell? Let's take it to the market and see, said her mother. Do you think it'll sell? I think it looks quite nice. At the market the next day, Ixchel and her mother watched as people walked by the stalls. Finally, a woman stopped. She picked up Ixchel's weaving and asked, Did you make this? When Ixchel nodded, the woman smiled. Her weaving sold, and for a very good price. Ixchel beamed with happiness. Now she could help pay for her books in school, and like her mother, grandmothers, and great-grandmothers before her, Ixchel had woven a rainbow. Wow, she did such a wonderful job. How creative it was to use the plastic bags to weave a rainbow. Well, that's the end of our story. Thank you so much for listening with us. Until next time.